Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So, about 11:15, 6/24, Tuesday, 75.7 degrees, 74 degrees, 23 Celsius, and no, my batteries are not charged. Looks like we're getting some overcast here. Maybe we're going to get some rain. They did promise that today, which means, God knows, because the weatherman has no clue. Alright, this shed, I've always kind of called it my Unabomber shed. It is shed number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So shed number 6. Is that scary? Anyway, this is a 10 by 10. This is the most screwed up shed I've ever built. It just never worked, and it's ugly. Looks like a Unabomber shed. What's wrong with this shed? I had this shed lifted up off the ground quite a ways. So when you look at those 3 blocks under the center, and then the 2 by 6 plus the plate, which is another 8 inches, the shed is over a foot off the ground, 14 inches off the ground, which makes it about impossible to get things in and out of. And then I put an attic in it, and then a top story, then this story, and it was just always very hard to get things in and out of this shed. So out of all the sheds, this one has been locked up the longest, and the most crap ended up in here, and it's kind of, the stuff has kind of just died in here because it's just the worst out of my sheds. It's really just been a mess. Interesting stories. This thing sits in front of it, and it's a shame that I haven't taken better care of it. A friend of mine used to do clean outs, and he did a clean out, believe it or not, at a mint that there was in New Jersey. And I guess they made pennies. There were 2 of these things that stand up here, and I guess however they put the pennies together, it would sit right there. And it was basically, they used to wheel, after making the pennies, they used to wheel them around on that. Alright, to go through this shed and to do it in such a way that I don't die or get tetanus or anything else, this will be interesting. Guys, if there's a fall and a crash, try not to be too amused. Alright, so starting on top, looks like a 200S over there, and then there is a little 70, and it looks like it's got the engine on it and everything. The carb's off the engine, but looks like the engine is still sitting there, which is nice. I see bees. I don't like seeing bees. This looks like a 200X. Matter of fact, let's see if I can't zoom in on the name tag without getting broken. I don't know, could you guys see that? Let me try to zoom it in a little more. I hope I'm not making anybody too nauseous. So anyway, I think that's a 200X. When the front forks, it looks like a 200X. And that looks like a 125. ATC 125. Then gas can, a parking lot sign, and I think that's about it for on top. On the bottom, that's a Minneapolis Moline engine. This bike. This is an ATC 250 ES. It's known as a Big Red. That one has an interesting pedigree. near Lloyd, New York, town of Lloyd, Highland, that area. This bike used to belong to the local police department or sheriff department over there. I'm not sure if that's Orange County or Ulster County. And there's an aqueduct for New York City, or maybe it belonged to the New York City Police Department. There was an aqueduct. There is an aqueduct there that provides water to New York City. And the cops owned this thing, and they would chase kids up and down the aqueduct. One of the kids was riding double, and cop was chasing him, and the kid went down this hill and crashed his motorcycle. So him and his buddy are on the ground. So the cop leaves this thing running on top of the hill, and goes scrambling down the hill to apprehend the kids. And he goes falling ass over tea kettle and ends up on the bottom of the hill. And before he could get back on his feet or anything, the kids managed to get themselves back on the motorcycle, and they ride up and around, and it took the cop a long time to get back to the top of the hill. And in the meantime, as the kids went up and around, they stole this thing from him. They took it, they bagged it, and left him to walk home. And they just beat the Jesus out of the poor thing, mostly cosmetically. Mechanically it seemed fine, so they beat it. And it went to one of the local Honda places to be fixed, and the bill came back that it didn't pay to fix it, and then they didn't come and claim it, so eventually the local Honda place kept it in lieu of the bill, and I bought it from them. So as near as I could tell, they never did track down the kids, though I think they knew who the kids were who did it, but they, couldn't prove anything. Everybody's wearing helmets, and other bikes had plates, on and on and on. So it was recovered, and once again, and then just kind of put off. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it is it's been sitting, and that's never good for anything. So there she sits still. It did run when it got in here, but as I said, for stuff that gets in here, it kind of comes in here to die. Next to it is another, I don't know if it's 185 or 200. You can kind of see it down there. There you go. You can see the motor. And then sitting here, looks like the front end to a 200S. I'm not sure. I normally don't cut things up like this, so I'm not sure what its story was. I don't think I acquired it. I probably cut it, and once again, I normally don't do that. And a front end. That looks like a front end to a 200X. A seat to an ATC 70. I don't know if you guys remember these. These are Honda QA50. Other than the last two, this is a complete 200X. I'm not seeing a sticker on the neck. Doesn't look like a square. Normally the 86s have more of a square jug on it. That doesn't, well, it could be an 86. Once again, I'm not seeing the sticker on it. Looks like it was painted over. So this is a 200X. There's one of my subscribers who's really good at knowing just by sight what they are. I mean, it does have the round ignition, so I think it's an 85. If I had to guess, I'd say it's an 85. We'll let it go as that. You can get a little better view of that guy now. And this is another 200X that's not wearing an engine. I can't see the coil to see if it's round or not. This one's got some nice tires on it. So there we are. I don't know what shed this was. 6, I think, the Unabomber shed. There should be nothing up there. I don't know that there's nothing up there, but there should be nothing up there. So, shed 6. Folks, thanks for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Hoard. I think I only have one more shed left. Alright folks, bye now.